Vicente Soto III, Coco Pimentel, and Mr. Regal Oliva. What do all of them have in common? Yes, each of them were once allies of the former President Rodrigo Duterte, but each of them fell into the cracks and took a hard turn from allies to hardcore critics. You may remember Vicente Soto back in the day. He was very vocal with his support on the war on drugs during Duterte's administration. He said, and I quote, "Ang laki ng problema natin sa krimen. The President's declaration with a war on drugs is necessary, and this is what the country needs right now." This inspired him to pass a law against dangerous drugs. But around March of 2022, after rubbing elbows and associations with the Marcoses, he explicitly denied he had any connection with the Duterte family. Come to September 2025, Soto, together with Pimentel and Lacson, positioned themselves and said, "Enough of the Dutertes." This year, they initiated a media-wide propaganda against the Duterte administration. Coco Pimentel, then Senate President way back 2016, was part of the PDP-Laban party and had supported then Mayor Rodrigo Duterte's presidency. He also showed solid support on PRRD's independent foreign policies and was also a vocal Marcos critic. But June of this year, after President Bongbong Marcos appointed Pimentel's wife as the special envoy to the United Arab Emirates for Trade and Investment, who as of the moment serves as the executive director of the Senate Spouses Foundation, his alliance shifted. On the recent impeachment of the Vice President Saraduterte, he made his stand on the issue very clear, as he said, and I quote, "Since the articles of impeachment has been filed by 1/3 of the members of the House of Representatives, the trial by Senate must forthwith proceed." In layman's terms, he wanted the impeachment of the Vice President to proceed without delay. He even said that he is no longer a Duterte supporter and further exclaimed that PRRD has zero influence over him. Arriving on the most recent shift in narrative comes Mr. Regal Oliva. You might remember him as one of the most vocal supporters of the former president with powerful lines like,
"Cap it all, the arrest warrant from the ICC poses complex issues for the Marcos administration, particularly due to the lack of the ICC's jurisdiction in the Philippines and the potential legal actions that could be pursued in the Supreme Court. Buhi pamanggod ang legal system or justice system sa Pilipinas. Not to mention, ang political nga epekto ani kay fast approaching na baya ang election sa 2025. Kung arestuhon ba si Tatay Digong, di ba kaha mag-alsa-masa ang mga Duterte loyalist? And will this be the beginning of another political crisis?" Ngano naabot man taan ni oy? Abi ko man ug ang bagong Pilipinas kay united na.
Yes, he and so many other Duterte supporters know this and believe it by heart. The Philippines indeed has a robust and functioning judicial system, hence making the warrantless arrest of the former president not only unconstitutional, but it also tramples basic human rights. On one of the other videos he made, Mr. Oliva showed further support for the former president by questioning as to why is there a need for the International Criminal Court. He stated,
Let's talk about why the case against former President Duterte in the ICC is legally flawed. People say his war on drugs is a crime against humanity. Dili ni genocide, dili ni ethnic cleansing. Ang target sa anti-drug campaign kay mga sindikato ug mga involved sa illegal drugs. Dili mga ordinaryong civilians. Under the Rome Statute, a crime against humanity needs to have a widespread or systematic attack against civilians and a state policy of extermination. But in the case of the Philippines, what happened? The Philippines prosecuted these rogue officers. In fact, we convicted police officers for the killing of Kian de los Santos. So kung naglihok ang korte, nganong kinahanglan pa ang International Criminal Court? And here's another thing. Why only Duterte?
However, recently, like the sudden shift in the fault lines in Cebu, Mr. Oliva's political stance shifted drastically. He went from this
scam ra di ay ning unity. So ngano mutuo pa man ta sa mga panaad aning administrasyon
to this.
And here lies the crux of it. The ICC did not find comfort in Duterte's assurances. Because how can the court be at ease when even his own family, the sitting vice president herself, has publicly denounced the ICC's jurisdiction? When words like "we will never surrender him" echo louder than the pleadings of his counsel. The ICC is not blind to political undercurrents. It reads statements not as sentiment, but as signal.
So what happened? Let us break down his flawed understanding of the legalities stated in his video. He stated that according to the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court, Article 60, Paragraph 2, a person subject to a warrant of arrest may apply for interim release pending trial. If the pre-trial chamber is satisfied that the conditions set forth in Article 58, Paragraph 1 are met, the person shall continue to be detained. Mr. Oliva, you said it yourself in your recent video. The person detained is an 80-year-old man who has trouble remembering core memories and cannot even hold ground in court since his cognitive ability is in decline. The grounds for continued detention stated in Article 59, Paragraph 1 is not satisfiable, and it does not justify the continued detention of our former president. The former president posed no flight risks whatsoever, and that goes for tampering with witnesses and quantified crimes. Another point of argument which you have contradicted yourself in one of your videos is the jurisdictional statute of law in the Philippines versus the International Criminal Court. You said this.
However, importante nga mahibalaan na ang Pilipinas dili na miyembro sa ICC sukad pa sa pag-withdraw niya sa Rome Statute ni adtong Marso 2019. This non-member status complicates the ICC's ability to execute the arrest warrant within the country.
You are contradicting your own narrative, Mr. Oliva, and it raises a lot of questions. This is very reminiscent to this. And this. This has Risa Ontiveros' ploy written all over this narrative. The fact that you changed your narrative so fast made me realize that you not winning the 2025 local election was a blessing in disguise. You are spineless and a man of zero principles. Another day, another political personality turned by the administration.